Hi, it's Shaun Farrugia. Today we're going to discuss last night's federal budget and the impact on small to medium-sized businesses. So last night's budget, which was the first and possibly the last, with a combination of Scott Morrison and Josh Frydenberg, had the slogan of "Back in Black and Back on Track." It'll be the first predicted budget surplus in 12 years, predicted to deliver a $7.1 billion surplus in the next financial year and $45 billion worth of surpluses in the next 4 years. The aim is to eradicate government debt by the year 2030. So from a small to medium-sized business perspective, what we're looking at is first of all the instant asset write-off. That was probably the big draw card to our clients. So this is where you can buy an asset such as a car that may have been under $20,000 and write it off in your first year's tax return. Recently that had increased to $25,000, which hasn't passed into legislation as yet, but the new proposal is to increase it to $30,000 and to extend the date of expiry of this measure to June 2020. So there's another 15 months and any assets bought under $30,000 will be instantly tax deductible. It is worth noting this isn't a rebate. It's not, you spend $30,000 on an asset, you get $30,000 back. It is a tax deduction, but it is still a welcome change. From an income tax perspective, the current rates are remaining the same for the current financial year. There are proposed increases to the thresholds, and this is to prevent bracket creep. So first of all, the $37,000 threshold where you're paying 19% in tax will increase to $45,000. This will mean anyone earning above $45,000 will save $1,080 in additional tax year on year after July 2022. And the 32.5% bracket will be expanded out from $90,000 to $120,000. This will mean anyone earning above $120,000 will save an additional $1,350 in tax year on year after that period. For more immediate tax measures, anyone earning between $48,000 and $90,000 will actually receive an additional $550 in tax savings when they lodge their next tax return in 13 weeks. So this isn't necessarily a change of the income tax rate, it's just a mere extension of the low to medium income tax offset. So it's some good news for people in the $48,000 to $90,000 bracket, and it's an immediate measure, assuming that the government wins the election. Apart from the tax measures, there's been a few increased funding measures for the ATO and with regulation. The first is to do with single touch payroll. With the increased funding to single touch payroll, the information that the ATO is going to collect on a week by week or a per pay period basis is going to be shared with Child Support and Centrelink, as well as other government agencies. If you have any employees or if yourself are dealing with any of these agencies, be aware that there is a lot more information that these guys will receive, and this may result in further audit action. So just keep this in the back of mind, and if you do need to revisit your affairs, it's probably best to get to be on the front foot with it and make sure that everything you're doing is completely transparent. The ATO's also received additional funding for chasing of ATO tax debts and unpaid super obligations. This is going to become a really big issue over the next couple of years. Between single touch payroll and increased funding, any employers not paying their employee super on time is going to get hit fairly hard, is my tip. And there's also been a lot more funding for sham contracting arrangements, and as such, a strengthening of the ABN system. So in order to get rid of sham contract arrangements where people should be employees, the ATO is going to start cancelling ABNs where there's no tax return lodged or where they feel that an ABN should never have been issued. And there'll also be the obligation to actually check your ABN details and certify that they are correct every single year. So with all of these measures, none of these are legislation as yet. It will be dependent on who wins the next election. It's tipped that the government will call a federal election within the next week or so, and the election will be sometime in mid to late May. If Labor does win, then we're not sure exactly what of these measures will be enacted upon, but we'll provide a further update down the track. I hope this was useful. If you do have any questions, please refer to the budget papers on our website, and we can help you out with any questions you may have after you've read those. Have a fantastic day. See you later.